and welcome to the Daily Dragonfly. Today we are going to be playing with some techniques. So what I'm going to do is put a nice dark color. I'm going to get a lot of water on my number 16 brush here. I'm going to put it right into some dark water. And this is just a regular technique where the paper is dry. And I'm just going to get a nice coating of this beautiful blue pigment. Today we're going to be working with an element from the earth. We're going to add some salt, just regular table salt. The coarser the better, actually, if you want more of a dramatic result, right? So we're just going to cover this paper. And I'm going to let you see what happens here. All right, so the reason I've put this paper into 4 different chunks is each day we're going to be trying a different technique. Okay, so that is a goodly amount of pigment. So let's just see what we've got here. All right, now that's it for that. Now what's simple about this is I'm just going to go ahead, take some salt. This is really fine, regular table salt. So this is going to give me sort of a sandy beach effect once it dries. I don't know if you can see that, but that's pretty cool. The salt absorbs the water. So we're going to zoom in on that. I'm going to come back when it dries. Get down in there, get close. There we go. And basically see what happens. So what we're going to do is we're going to let this completely dry. Now that will cause this effect to wherever the salt has landed. As you can see, there's some already, you can see where it's pulled that pigment away. Wherever the salt has landed, once it's completely dry and I brush it all off, it'll look pebbled, almost like beach and sand. So this is really great if you're doing some sort of technique or, you know, painting that has a beautiful beachy sand in it or a gravel driveway or anything like that, where you want some of that yummy sort of pebbly looking texture. And the bigger salt, the larger grain salt, coarse ground that you use, the larger the spots will be. So that's pretty fun. So this is what I wanted to talk to you about today, is just using different things you have in your house that affects the paint. So what I want to do now is just really let that dry. So we're not going to bother you with that at the moment. Watching paint dry is not the funnest thing to do. So I'm going to touch back here in just a few minutes. Okay, we're back. Our salt has dried and we're getting some really cool effects here. As you can see on the outside, where the salt hit, it's larger. The impact, it's like absorbed and pulled away that salt. And what I'm going to do right now, as you can hear, that's like sandpaper. It feels like sandpaper, especially where this was a higher concentrate of salt and that was a lighter concentrate of salt. So we're just I've got a piece of paper toweling over here to the side because I don't want all that salt in my workspace. And I'm just going to go ahead with my fingers lightly. Just brush that off until you don't have any more salt. You know, you could just paint over it if you wanted that texture too, that's fine. Just knowing that that salt, as it absorbs the paint, will, you know, activate again the minute you put water on it, right? That's kind of fun to do. Okay, so that gave us a really cool effect. So I'm going to pull the paper up closer to you, and so you can really see even closer. So as we get closer, I love this because you've got all that beautiful, they almost look like little starbursts or fireworks, right? They've got those really lovely feathery edges. And then as you get closer in, you can see that beachy pebbly effect, right? So this is where we had a higher concentrate right in here of the salt. And it gave you all those beautiful pebbles and all that beautiful texture. And remember, the key is you have to let it dry completely, right? Don't be, resist wanting to go in too early, because if you smudge it while it's wet, you'll just get a bunch of smears. And that could be interesting too. It's something to try. It's an experiment. It's learning. That's why we do it on these nice little, basically swatches, right? All using the same colors so you can see, but look how pretty that is. Almost looks like ice crystals forming on the ice. So beautiful. Well, I love that. So fun. Okay. So that was our lesson on using salt with watercolor. And remember, you can use salt with acrylics too, but acrylics have a much heavier body, or they're much creamier, kind of like using a yogurt, right? So it's thicker. So you're going to have to use a lot of water with that acrylic to get this type of effect. And you'll just have to play around with it. You know, so do a few swatches, play around with acrylics, play around with watercolors side by side. I may do that in a later video for you guys. But yeah, just have fun, enjoy, and thank you for watching. This has been the Daily Dragonfly, and I will see you at the canvas. Have a great day.